All right, we're back after a short break. It's Axis Impulse, December 19th. I found a absolute thing I'm going to do. We're going to use this card and activate all units in this corps. Okay. Because I noticed a weakness. So when I activate this corps, any pieces next to a roadblock, those are going to do a roadblock check to see if there's an undetected allied defender. Now, the only pieces valid to show up there would be from these two corps. We don't yet have any pieces from the 3rd Corps available, and on the 8th there are none in the reserve box. Also, there's no out of contact. We just did a check on those, so there's no way those are going to become undetected allied defenders from the roadblock. So I want to hop on that before that becomes no longer in effect. So we've activated. That's a 3, that's a 6. So the first one we need to check is Bastogne. It's a higher number. 6 or less, it's a 1. So let's go to our roadblock check rules. Roadblock check. Whoops. Roadblock removal. Remains on the map until removed due to any of these. Allied unit enters its hex. Active German unit starts adjacent to a roadblock. Remove the roadblock, and if it was in Allied supply or in a VP hex, conduct a roadblock reserve check. Remove the roadblock when German unit activates adjacent. So we roll the die. If the die is less than or equal to the hold value, place an Allied reserve unit in the hex. Place an Allied reserve unit. Place a reserve or out of contact unit from the same army as the on-map unit closest to the position. If none are available, no unit is placed. If more than one, then we take a reserve unit before out of contact unit. If possible, take unit from the same division. If none, then same corps, etc., etc. So, again, the only pieces that can deploy here in this would be the 8th Corps. All right, I'm just going to stare at this again. Okay, so I've missed something through all my gameplay. All right, it says an Allied reserve unit or out of contact from the same army. Once on the board, there is no movement restrictions. But to deploy onto the board, they have to deploy into their army area or their corps area. So those two pieces, although they're in the same army, that light or green color, those can only deploy in this bottom portion for the US 12th Corps. However, if there's a piece on the board that is considered out of contact, I think that could redeploy over. So none of the 8th Corps are out of contact. If we look at this stack, there's 2 here. There's a total of 4 dots and a strength of 7. We're going to look at the out of contact units out of contact. Item B, if it's in Allied communication, not surrounded, is the lowest numbered unit in a stack containing at least 5 steps or 8 strength points. So this is not valid either. If both of these pieces had a strength of 4, that would be 8 strength points. So then one of those could be considered out of contact. But overall, this does not meet that criteria. So this is also fully in contact. So there is nothing to deploy here. Okay, so we simply remove that roadblock. We're going to have the same case right here that we just went through. So, you know, I can roll the die. It doesn't matter. It's a 9. It comes off. Even if it was a 3 or less, we still would not have had a piece to deploy. Okay. So now we can move these pieces. For one, I want to take Bastogne. It's just a matter of with which piece. This piece does not exert zone of control because he's got brackets. So I'm actually going to use this other unbracketed infantry to join him. 2 bracketed pieces do exert zone of control. Okay. All right, that's that piece. Do we want to use one of these armored? Do we want to use this infantry? Do I want to move something down here just to keep this from coming next to it? Yes. We're going to move him down. Wait a second. Yeah, because as soon as I move here, I have to stop. Here, I have to stop. Let's move a piece here. 2, 3. So we're going to move this armored there for sure. That gives us 5 victory points. And a German town. And we got a fuel, which again is going to give us a fuel bonus later in the game. My 5 victory points, 2 to 7 here. So now we're at 17. Again, that has to stop. At some point, we probably will be wanting to attack that. Maybe even now, we'll see. This piece, 2, 3. I'm going to hit the road with this piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to cost him 1 to break contact. 2, second point is on the road. 3, he's on the road for his 3rd movement point. I need to do a roadblock check. So 3 or less. The roadblock goes up. 8. Okay. So he did 1, 2, 3. That's broken terrain. That would become 4 movement points, 4 and 5. Okay. I need to do another roadblock check here and a blown bridge check. We're supposed to check for blown bridges first. So a 1 or a 2. The bridge is blown. Where are we at? Here. 1. So, boom goes that bridge. So that's my blown bridge marker. And then we need to roll for a roadblock marker. 2. And we get a roadblock. Okay. We'll just have to live with that. These two. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't quite do a full combat on this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. I cannot put both pieces there because they've got 5. Five dots, and that would make 7 dots. You can only have 6. So maybe I should have moved that one there and that one there. That's okay. I've moved it. I'm not going to back it up. Or do we want to... Yeah, I think we want to try and bump him off there. Maybe not this impulse, but another. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Over here... there's the assault coordination. Maybe one of those undrawn cards will help us out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 2P, 2P. 1, 2. Keep the 2P together. Go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's bring him to there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1. Ah, yes. We can. So he's good to go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Okay. So we're going to have an attack here. Any cards? We're out of range on fixed. Everybody's already involved with the fight. Nobody we can reinforce this with. Fixed is no good. Press the attack. All that means is that we could draw one more chip. We would only do that if it would give us a large attack. Oh, Tina. Tina, could you check the chicken?
I already put it in the
Oh, thank you. Okay. So that would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have elite makes 8. More than 2 steps makes 9. So we have a large attack up to 9. We're going to hit this guy. If we could knock him off that would be wonderful. He does get the draw for help. XVII, that's not his core. Air power. Today is the 19th, so get the first air power of the game. 2 chips is the minimum. One, 2. He is in woods. So there's a D-1. There's no artillery involved. We're going to press on even though he's already absorbed 2 hits. 1 for his improved position, 1 for the woods. I said we have a max draw of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to pull 7. I want him off. 1, 2, 3. I drew a blue, so everything goes back in. Okay. Continue on. So it was 7 more we're drawing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's check our combat odds. 7, 9, 10, 11, 15, 18, 26, 4, 8, 11, 13, 14, 17, 24, 25, 26. Again, I wish I had this piece up here to make it 27. So we have 8-1 odds. So we have the 3-1. Only defender armor. Defender has no armor. Only attacker armor. That one applies. All right, we have 7-1 odds, and we have flank attack. But the P means this side of the chip takes priority. So we have 7-1 odds. There's no artillery. No artillery. Well, we have that one, so we're going to have to take a hit. Attacker is not green. Attacker is elite. So that was very effective. Those 2 offset. This removes the improved position marker. 4 more hits eliminates the unit. So we're not going to go back through all those steps, but you could, and this would end up eliminating that unit. So that was a very effective attack. It's the second, of a pair, so that's another point. And we have to take an attacker hit. I'm going to do it on this armored piece here. Okay. And then we can advance. That's the first hex of advancement. And then I can advance some more. We will have to do a roadblock check. If we advance here, we have to do a roadblock check for that. I'm going to use them to go that way probably. Let's use layer. So that's 1. Let's do the roadblock check. That figures. So our roadblock goes up there. It's not connected by a road, so I could actually advance a second spot to here or here. Which I'm going to go ahead and do. This other member of layer will advance also. I'm going to anticipate having to do combat on that. So this stack is going to advance here, then here. That will advance to there. I'm going to leave a piece in Bastogne. Well, I don't need to. I do not need to. So we will advance him also. Okay. And since I'm the last to have crossed and owned that bridge, I'm going to put a bridge symbol on there. So I know that's a German bridge. Okay. Put the chips in the discard. My card was 3 command value points, so that concludes my Axis impulse, my German impulse. Draw another card. All right. So that will at least let me activate those pieces. We'll see what comes of those roadblocks. We switch to the Allied impulse. We've got the first we check for a special. There are no special. There is a deploy, 7th Armored and 82nd. We do not have any pieces in the reserve box. We do need to check if there's any out of contact pieces of the 7th Armored or the 82nd. So, of the 7th Armored, we have a stack here with 12 combat strength and 6 steps. And we just happen to have looked at that rule. I lost it. Out of contact. Item B is in Allied communication, not surrounded, and is the lowest numbered unit in a stack containing at least 5 steps or 8 strength points. So that means the lowest numbered is this 01. There's also a 02 and a 03. So this division is considered out of contact. So let's go to our deployment card. So there were no units in the reserve box. There is an out of contact. So we just pulled the first valid out of contact piece. Check using method A. Empty position in the unit's core area, trace supply, German unit proximate. So let's see if there's some candidates. Their core is this line north. Yep, he's going to redeploy. Preferably, it's going to say within 3 hexes of his division. That's not valid. It's next to a piece. Not valid next to a piece. Okay. Next, it's going to look for within 3 hexes of the same core. So probably this piece will be involved. Nothing up here is proximate to German pieces. Now looking down here, we'll use the helmets. That's proximate. It's not in danger of surround. He could move from here to, we can't get a zone of control on that hex. We do all these roadblocks and such. That's valid. We're just going to look within 3 hexes of here. That one, there's someone proximate there. 1, 2, 3, 1. Let's see, we need to look at that one. We're proximate to there. We're proximate to, that would be a movement point to break away. That would be 1, 2, 3. Right now, that piece cannot move above this jagged blue line. So that's what we need to check for. So of those 4 positions, highest hold value. There's a 3. There's a 3. So it's one of those 2. Then it's the westernmost. So it's going to be that one. So that piece was considered out of contact and redeployed to there. Okay. Now, we check other potential out of contact units. These are no longer valid to check because we don't have at least 5 strength. Oh, nope. We have 8 total combat strength. So back to here. Not surrounded. It's not, at least not yet. And is the lowest numbered unit in a stack containing at least 5 steps or 8 strength points. Okay. So this piece we'll also check with these same, the same rules. So now it's going to prefer within 3 hexes of this piece. Not valid because it's next to. Above this line here, okay? We are not proximate to there because of roadblocks. We are proximate to that position and that position. Okay, so then it's gonna, it's within 3 of that. It's gonna then say the highest hold value, which will be that. And this armored division has just redeployed to here. Okay, so they're quickly patching up the hole I made. Now we look at that one's no longer eligible as out of contact. We can look at the 82nd. So this stack only has 3 dots and a strength of 4. This one has a total strength of 5 and 4 dots. So they're not eligible for redeploying as an out of contact unit. It was just these 2 tank divisions. So that's it. That would conclude the deployment, or in this case, the kind of a redeployment of out of contact pieces into the discard. So that ends the Allied impulse. Stop this and restart. All right, so now we're back to the Axis. Cannot use that one because I just activated them last turn. I think what I might do is we're going to go ahead and activate this core. So I want to see what comes of these. We have a 5, we have a 3. We'll check for the 5 first. So a 5 or less, the roadblock comes off with a piece. It's an 8. So there's no undetected Allied there. And this one, if it's a 3 or less, that's a 9. So that works to our favor. So now we're going to doesn't really matter what piece I start with. He could cross there and stop if he needs to. across there and stop if he needs to. I do want to go ahead and take D-Kirk. So I'm going to move this piece here. And now I have to do 2 bridge checks. First, we'll do this one. So a 1 or a 2. You know, since this isn't Allied supply yet, we do a blown bridge check. So 1 or a 2. That's a 10. And then we check this one as a 1 or a 2. It's a 5. And we have to do a roadblock check for a value of 1 or 2. 10. Okay. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and move him here. It gives us 2 more victory points. 9 to here. So we're at 20. Let me grab a couple more Axis flags. D-Kirk. Edelbrook. I have Vianden too. So that was 1, 2. We're going to keep moving him out. 3. This piece will go 1, 2. I have to do a roadblock check here. 1 or a 2. Okay. 1, 2. One, 2, I want to go here. Three, this piece, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm gonna bring him that way. I don't want this guy to have the ability to retreat or cross over, so I want to park a piece here. So that armored could go 1, 2, 3. This one's going to move to here. He's going to have supply issues next time we check. All right, so that's it for their move. That used up 2 command points. Next, we're going to move one of these. So it's this corps. I'm going to move, and then I'm going to attack on a later turn. So this stack can go, I can do strategic movement for up to 10 as long as I stay on a road and I don't move next to a allied piece. So he could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm moving them there. Because then on a subsequent turn, I'll use the other card to activate them, move him here, and attack that from all those. Also, I have that one's green. Do I want to move that piece at all? No. I'll just keep him in place. Okay, so that's it for that core. That's it for that impulse. And we're going to consider having used this card of the two. Okay. I need to draw 2 cards to replenish. 1, 2. Okay. I'll take those. Now let's go back to the Allied impulse. Alrighty, so that's going to give some defense now down here. XII, 12th Corps. There's no special. Deploy 4th and 10th Armored Reserves. There they've been sitting for quite a while. So all 4 of these. Despite the numbering, the S's take priority over the ones without the S's. So it'll be this piece first, second, third, and fourth, because of the way the numbers are. All right, so it's going to be, hopefully getting used to those deployment rules. Core area, so the bottom part of the map, within, access unit is proximate, etc., etc. The first preference after those is it's going to be within 3 hexes of a unit of the same division. So we have that here. So if these are valid, we are proximate to this. It's not in danger of, well, let's check. If he is here, I could move, if he's here, I could go 1. I could get a piece here, which gives me a zone of control here, and here, and here, and here. And I could get another piece to go 1, 2, 3. So that's not valid because he could be considered surrounded. This hex, 1, 2, I could get here, and that's it. So I cannot surround that hex. That's valid. This hex would be valid. Oh, I'm not proximate to that, so never mind. 1, 2, I cannot get there. This would be valid because I can reach it. So these are valid. They're within 3 hexes of a unit of the same division. So the next thing it's going to look for is highest hold value, which is going to be that 3. So Konsdorf gets this 10th Armored Division. Next piece is another 10th Armored. Again, the preference is going to be within 3 hexes of a 10th Armored. Not valid, not valid. This is within 3. Let's make sure I cannot surround that. I probably can. He could move here. 1, 2, 3. He can move there. That's not valid. This would be, so we don't have any hexes within 3 of the division. So now we're going to be looking at proximate to a German piece. So he could go 1, 2, 3 and not, let's see, can he be surrounded? He could go to here, 1, 2, 3. No, he's not going to be surrounded on the map edge. He could be if I could reach here, but not here. So that's valid. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Those two positions. As long as I cannot surround them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that one's valid. This one, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. That one is valid. 1, 2, 3. How about that one? How about that one? How about that one? Yeah, I cannot. Yeah. If I'm here, if I'm there. Yeah, I think all of these are valid because I don't think I can surround them. One, 2, 3. Yeah, this one could be surrounded. Not valid. This one could go here. 1. I could go here, which would allow his supply to go that way and out. So I think what we're looking at now are valid. The next item will be the highest hold value. That's a 2. It's another 3. It's a 2. And a 2. So it's going to be one of those. Then it's going to say the westernmost, which will be that one. So this other 10th Armored will go there. Okay, so now we hop to the 4th Infantry Division. Now we're going to prefer to be within 3 hexes of that. Is that valid? It wasn't a moment ago. We could move to here and we could move to here. So no, that one's still not. I hope I had that on the... That's not valid because we could still move to here and surround him. This hex, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, these are valid. We want to stay within 3 of this now, so it's really only those 2. Then it's going to be the highest hold value, which will be the 3, and that piece will go there. And 1 more to go. This one will probably be it. Oh. Yeah, if this was not here, we could have surrounded that by going 1, 2, 3. So how about now? If we have a piece there, he could get here. I could not get a piece here because they have to stop there or stop there. So this is now valid. And that gets the last one. So with that card, ended up being a very powerful deployment that completely contained the bulge here, the little breakthrough I had. I will say I was fortunate enough to at least have crossed this river. Often I get pinned down on that river's the first big obstacle, and often I get pinned here. So I have at least crossed the rivers, but now my breakthrough is being contained. So that concludes that Allied impulse. All right, back to the German, or the Axis. It's unlikely I'm going to activate. It's just these two stacks. There's just be banging my head on the wall, probably trying to take that. So I'm going to use this fixed artillery in a moment, or probably the next time when I activate these and make an attack up here. They're within range of using the fixed artillery. Let's look at the LXVI. That's these little 3 peach colored. Oh, they could also give me an artillery if I need it somewhere. Let's hold off on that. Let's look again here at the 2SS. Oh boy. I might just reposition them and get ready for the next day, because this is just too powerful to try and hit. We're better off trying to exploit this stuff once I no longer have movement issues, which will be tomorrow. I can go down to this line. Since this town, Vilsholm, redeployed 2 of its pieces, it is now a bit weaker. So maybe that's another target. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the 2SS. Probably not going to do combat. We're going to move to however it seems best. Again, I cannot go below this road, this line. 1, 2. Okay, so he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1. I wish I could get there, but I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it looks like it's going to be there and there. The next day, when I'm allowed to move below this deployment area, I could move down here and do an attack. So there's benefit in this. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 is the movement of this stack. And this stack will be 1, 2, 3. Next question. Let's put a town marker up there. And let's put a bridge so we know that that's mine. I'm not a big fan of leaving that exposed if I move this piece off of there, because then they have a chance of advancing. I'm going to leave that there for now. And that's just the way that's going to be. Okay. That concludes that German impulse. Draw another card. Those guys, okay. Go back to an allied impulse. All right. Today is the 19th. We do a engineers. So we're going to be looking at these roadblocks again. Now, there's nothing in the reserve block. So we'll be looking for out of contact. So we've been through this a few times now. It's probably the highest hold value we look at first. Engineers. If more than one, replace the marker with the highest hold value. If tied, then westernmost, then northernmost. So we're going to look at that one first, because it's the highest hold value. And then the westernmost, which is that one, and then that one. So the closest army is this army. And we need to see if there's an out of contact. Yes, and that army can deploy in this area. Okay. XVII can deploy on either of these. So do we have an out of contact? He's in contact, he's in contact, in contact. Right here. We've got one of these stacks with more than 5 dots. So that would be valid. That one's in contact, in contact. So it's going to end up being the lowest numbered piece, that one, the 08. Redeploys in place of that roadblock. So that just made things more difficult. So that took care of that engineer event. Let's pause a moment.